Welcome to one and all present here. Today we are going to look into the topic approximation for NP hard problems. I have with me Dakshin S and John Nesakumar as my teammates. Today we will look into the problems that have high time complexity and we will try to reduce it by approximating the whole problem. So it would be quite problematic if we learn through the definition. I will make it easy to understand how to approximate these kinds of hard problems. So, like in this picture, you can clearly see we every time have a problem, we too have its solutions, and intermediately we have algorithm kind of thing. In algorithm, there are two types of algorithm. One of the type gives an exact solution, that is the problem is given and it has an exact solution. And another type of algorithm is we give the problem, we find an algorithm that is near optical solution. I mean the solution that is almost equal to an exact solution but cannot be termed as an exact solution. Like in the examples we have seen in the previous generation was, for using sorting techniques we used bubble sort that had taken n square time. That is huge time when compared to O of 1, that is at a constant time. Since people at that time didn't know advanced sorting techniques, so what they done is they founded an approximation algorithm that directly found the sorting technique, found the smaller elements, larger elements, and sorted. They just made an assumption that in the future there will be a sorting technique that will easily separate the small and the larger elements and will group them together. Today we have with us the merge sort technique. That is the perfect example to show how can a sorting technique like bubble sort takes n square time and merge sort takes only log n time. The difference between the time complexity is so high. That was never found in the previous generation. They were only expecting that such kind of algorithm will exist. The same problem today we are facing with knapsack problem and traveling salesman problem, like this kinds of problem. So we will approximate the algorithm in such a way that tomorrow a researcher will find a perfect algorithm and exact algorithm that will give the solution to these kinds of huge problems in very constant time. I mean, it will be in polynomial time, not in exponential time. So next we'll go upon the topic classification of algorithm. We basically need to understand what is the basic of approximating the algorithm. If we directly go and approximate the algorithm, we won't find a categorize where we need to approximate the algorithm. We will approximate whole algorithm. The one that we have an easy way, we will try to approximate it also. Instead of wasting time in approximating algorithm that has a polynomial time execution, we'll go on with a non-polynomial time execution. So what I mean is, algorithm is basically split in two half, that is polynomial time algorithm and non-polynomial time algorithm. These kinds of things are like the one that executes in polynomial time, and these kinds of things are that one executes in the non-polynomial time. So in the next slide, we will get a clear idea about it. Actually, the polynomial type is known as the class P problem. We denote it by class P. Problems which can be solved in polynomial time. By the name itself, we can understand the problems that can be solved in polynomial time is known as class P problems. These problems can be solved in O n power k is the worst case where k is a constant. Here, even n power k is something that's polynomial. It's not an exponential. So this is the worst case that we can see. So actually P problem, that is polynomial time problems, are subset of non-polynomial time problems. So examples under these problems are all sorting and searching techniques. They can say as merge sort, bubble sort, everything will execute in polynomial time. Next we'll look upon the class NP problem, that is non-deterministic polynomial time. By this I mean problems which can't be solved in a polynomial time. Exactly the opposite of class P problem. But what is the condition is we can check these kinds of problem in polynomial time. We can't execute the whole problem in polynomial time. We can just check it in a polynomial time. So NP problems are subset of P problems. By this I mean NP problem comes under the P problems. In the previous slide we saw P comes under the NP problems. The day when P and NP will be equal, that day we will have the technique to solve each and every problem in a very simple manner. Okay, the main examples of these kinds of NP problems are traveling salesman problem, knapsack problem. These kinds of huge problems comes under the NP problem, class NP problem. So in the next slide, we are seeing about NP problems. Now what is NP hard problems? Come on, we look under this. NP hard problems, that is non-deterministic polynomial type. We know the full form of NP is non-deterministic polynomial type. Actually, here we are given a problem A that executes an unknown time and a problem B that executes in polynomial time. We know an very easy technique to solve B, but we don't know an easy technique to solve A. Let us consider this is a knapsack problem and this is a spanning tree solving problem kind of thing. So what we will do is we will convert this A problem to a B problem and then solve it in a polynomial type. We will convert this whole A problem into a smaller, easier B problem and then solve it into a polynomial type. This may be confusing. I will explain you later. Actually, there are two types of problem basically. The decision problem and the optimization problem. By the name itself, we can see decision problem is you need to decide whether it's yes or no. Examples under these problems are prime number or not. Then kind of like other problems like you see odd number or not, even number or not. These kinds of problems are known as decision problems. Optimization problems are the problems that need to get optimized. By the meaning of optimized, either the problem should be converted into a minimum or a maximum. That is, we need to optimize the solution and get it out. Kind of traveling salesman problem. In the traveling salesman problem, we need to find the minimum cost that is required to traverse the whole city. In knapsack problem, we need to maximize the profit that we are getting. So these kinds of problems are optimization problems, and basically in NP hard problems, optimization problems is only coming under it because decision problems have a very easy method to solve it. So now we will know what is approximation of an algorithm. How to approximate an algorithm. Given an optimization problem P and algorithm A is said to be approximation algorithm for P if for any given instance I it returns an approximate solution that is a feasible solution. What I mean is we have given an optimization problem P with an algorithm A at any given instant of time, any kind of time if I take it upon it, then I will get an feasible solution. Feasible solution, something that is acceptable. So now we will see upon the properties of approximation algorithm. There is only basically two properties of the approximating algorithm. Number one is it guaranteed to run in polynomial time. It will guarantee that I will execute in polynomial time. Second is it guaranteed to get a solution which is close to an optimal solution, that is near optimal. It doesn't say that I will give you an exact solution. It every time says I will give you an optimal solution that is nearly equal to an exact solution. So like now we will see approximating algorithms for NP hard problem. Now we have seen what is the NP class, we have seen what is NP hard problems, and we have seen what is approximation of algorithms. Now we will combine everything together and find the approximation algorithm for NP hard problems. So we need to remember some terms, kind of accuracy ratio. It gives the accuracy in which the solution is found out. That is, it is denoted by R of S suffix A. So here SA means approximation solution. F of SA, value of objective function for solution given by approximation algorithm. That is the value of the function. F of S star, it gives the exact solution to the problem. We will see this f of SA and f of S star in the next slide. So here R of SA equal to f of SA by f of S star for minimizing the objective function. Since we have seen we have two kinds of thing, minimizing or maximizing. To minimizing we will find f of SA by f of S star. For maximizing the objective function, we use R of SA equal to f of S star by f of SA, that is 1 by R of SA. If you convert for minimum 1, for maximum 1 by minimum, you will get the function for maximizing the objective function. So next and the last topic to be covered under this is performance ratio. Okay, what is performance ratio? A polynomial time approximation algorithm is said to be C approximation algorithm, where C is greater than or equal to 1 if the accuracy of the approximation it produces does not exist C for any instance of the problem in the question. That is C approximation algorithm where the C value is greater than or equal to 1 and in any given instance of time the accuracy ratio doesn't produce or exceeds than C. That is R of SA is less than or equal to C. Every time it's less than or equal to C. The best, that is the smallest value of C for which inequality holds for all instances of problem is called the performance ratio of the algorithm. It is denoted by RA simply. Now we will look upon the traveling salesman.
Hi everyone, this is Dakshin. Now I am going to take traveling salesman problem using approximation algorithm. And this is the definition for traveling salesman problem. This is the diagram. Starting from city 1, the salesman must travel to all cities once before returning home. The distance between each city is given and is assumed to be the same in both directions. Only the given links shown are to be used. And these are the types we are going to see in approximation algorithm for TSP. In greedy approach, there are two: nearest neighbor algorithm and multi-fragment heuristic algorithm. In minimum spanning tree based algorithms, they have two: twice around the tree algorithm, Christophil's algorithm. Nearest neighbor algorithm. First select a city and move to the nearest unvisited city. Now we are in A. Move to B and other next list is B to C and C to D, then D to A finally. We want to find approximate solution. Now what is the value for approximate solution? A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. A to D, A to B, their value 1. Then B to C in value 2. C to D value 1. Again D to A value 6. Total 10. The approximate solution length equal to 10. Then find optimal solution. Optimal solution A to B. Then we want to move to B to D and then D to C, C to A. The value A to B 1. B to D 3, D to C 1, again C to A it's 3. So the value of optimal solution is 8. So the total length is 8. Then we want to find the accuracy ratio. Formula for accuracy ratio is R into S of A equal to f of S of A by f of S of S of A by f of S of star. F of SA is approximate solution. F of S star is optimal solution. F of SA equal to 10, F of S star equal to 8. Then the final answer is 1.25. Multi-fragment heuristic algorithm. Few steps to be done. Sort the edges in increasing order of their weights. Repeat this step n times where n is the number of cities in the instance being solved. Add the next edge on the sorted edge list to the set of 2 edges. Provide this addition does not create a vertex of 3 or a cycle of length less than n. Otherwise skip the edge. Now sort the edges according to their least values. Now A to B 1. Again the least is C to D 1. Next B to C it's 2. Again B to D 3. Then C to A 3. The last is D to A 6. Next, we want to create a graph using the edges. A to B 1, B to C 2, C to D 1. We cannot create B to D or C to A. So we are doing B to C, C to D. Then finally D to A 6. Twice around the tree algorithm. Few steps to use in spanning tree. Construct a minimum spanning tree. Step 2. Let the root be an arbitrary vertex. Step 3. Transfers all the vertices by depth first search. Record the sequence of vertices, both visited and unvisited. Use shortcut strategy to generate a feasible tour. Construct a diagram based on the problem to construct a new minimum spanning tree. Now, this A having lot of connections, A to B, A to D, A to E, but the least is A to B 4. So we connecting A to B. Next B also having lot of connection, B to D, B to E, B to C, but the least is B to C 6. We connecting B to 6 here. Next C to D, it's 10, but B to D is 8, so we connecting B to D directly. And then next C to E, it's 11, but D to E is 7, so we are connecting D to E. In this base, this is called minimum spanning tree. Traverse all the vertices by depth first search in the minimum spanning tree diagram. First, we want to move to A to B, then B to C. There is no connection in between C and D, so we again moving to C to B, then B to D, D to E, and then there is no connection in between E to A, so we are moving to E to D, again D to B, then B to A. This is called depth first search. The recorded the visited nodes are A to B, B to C, C to B, B to D, D to E, E to D, and again D to B, B to A. These are this. From this, remove unwanted one. Then A, B, C, D, E, A, and the total length is 39. That the values are given in the last page. Christophite's algorithm. Few points to be done. Find the minimum spanning tree. Find odd degree vertices. Minimum weight matching. Odd degree vertices. In A, there's having only one connection, A to B. So it's odd. B having three connections, B to D, B to C, B to A. So it's odd. C having only one connection, C to B. So it's also odd. D having two connections, D to B, D to E. So it's even. E having only one connection, E to D. So it's odd. Next, minimum spanning tree. A to B, B to C, C to D. There is no connections between C to D. So we are taking C to E because C to B then B to D is too high, 8 plus 16 14, but C to E is 11, so we are taking lowest value C to 11. Again C to D 7, next D to A, because D to B, B to A it's high, so we are taking D to A 9, so the total length is 37. A to B to C, C to E, E to D, D to A is 37. These are the types in traveling salesman problem using approximation algorithm. Thank you.
Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about the knapsack problem. Let's see the small brief about the knapsack problem. Let's see the problem statement for knapsack problem. First, it gives the two array. One has the value, that's mean profit, and another has the weight. We have to find the maximum value subset for the value of the sum of the subset weight is less than or equal to knapsack weight. Okay, we have to find the optimized solution for this knapsack problem. First, we are going to take the value as V1, V2, V3 and weight as W1, W2, W3 and the maximum capacity as capital W, and we are going to choose the element, that means items at x1, x2, x3. If x equal to 0, that means it is element not chosen. If x equal to 1, that element is chosen. Okay, let's see the algorithm for knapsack problem. First, we need to sort the all elements in decreasing order of ratio of value per unit weight. This is very essential for optimizing the solution because we are high ratio values in top of the priority, and then we initially taking the maximum profit is equal to 0 and creating a empty queue, and then we creating a dummy node for decision tree, that means the binary tree using to enqueue the queue. Doing this while following while queue is not empty. We are going to discuss about this in example with example, this steps in example. Let's see the example. Here I give the profit and weight: $10 5 kg, $30 5 kg, $40 2 kg, $50 10 kg, and the maximum weight equal to 16. Here we are going to sorting the values in the ratio of profit by weight. So we get the $40 2 kg as the ratio of 20, $30 5 kg 6, $50 10 kg 5, $10 5 kg 2. Here you can see the ratio in decreasing order, and the maximum weight as I told 16. Let's see the example. Here initially the profit value is 0 and weight also 0, and here the 115 it was given for the if is taking the first three element means we get the 115. The first element is 40 and the second element is 30. Third element we can't take fully, so we have to taking the partially of 9 kgs, because the first add we get 7 plus 9 we get 16. So the third value is divided by 10 and multiplied with 9, so we get the 45. We add totally we get 115 because we have to gain the maximum profit, so it is the possible profit to gain. We are taking as a steps to get the it is possible to go with these steps or not. Here if we take the first element, that means 40, we get $40 in 2 kg, and there and this 150 not changed. It is the maximum profit we can gain. It's not changed because we are taking the first element. Let's see the second. If we didn't take the first element, the maximum profit decrease because we didn't take the first element, so we have to add the second, third and fourth. The second 5 kg, third 10 kg, it has 15 plus 1 kg from the fourth element, so we're getting 82 is the maximum profit, and we didn't add the first element, so the profit is 10 and weight also profit is 0 and weight also 0. Now see the if you're taking the second element also, we gain profit 70 of 7 because the first element weight is 2, second element is 5, and the boundary maximum profit didn't change as 115. Let's see the next example. Next step. Okay, next we are taking, if we didn't take the second element, that means we gain 40 because we didn't take the second element, so the same 40 same 2 kg weight, and we didn't take the second element, so the maximum profit is decreased. Let's see, here also we have to see that, so that if we didn't take the second element, 40 plus 50 is the third element and 10 by 5 is the fourth element, we are taking only 4 kgs because the maximum limit is 16 for first 2, second 10, fourth second, third 10, fourth 4 kg we are only taking, so the maximum profit is 92. Let's see the next step. If we take the first, if we didn't take the first element and taking the second element, we have 30 and 5 kg for $30 for 5 kg, and the maximum profit is 82. And if we didn't take the second element also, it is 0 and the maximum profit becomes 60. It's not a useful because we already get in the first step. In this step we get the $70, so it's not an optimized solution. We are going to stop with this. Now here we are going to take the third element, but it is above the maximum weight 17, so 17, it goes 17, the maximum weight is 16, so it is not feasible, so it's believe in these steps. Here we neglect the third element, so we get profit 70 and weight other same 70, weight same 7, and the maximum profit became 80 because we neglect the third element. We can't take the third element. If we take also, it is not fusible, and if we neglect the third element, the profit become decreased because if we add the fourth element, it's only get the 10, the 80 profit only. 80 profit only. Here it became the 80. I didn't change at all, sorry. Next step. Now see this step. Here we are adding the third element. We get the profit 90 and weight 12 and maximum profit is 98, and this is the maximum profit we can obtain because the first third element we are getting the not fusible solution, and second we are getting this 80 is the maximum, but here we get the profit as a 90 comparing with the assumption profit as the 80, and here the profit is 98, but it is next step we uh, get to not feasible solution because it became 17, and we didn't add this solution, it is the last end again. Here also it is not a feasible, it is also not a efficient optimized solution, and it is the maximum profit is 82, it is less than the profit we gained as 90, and here is the maximum profit is less than 90, so these steps are stopped, so we get the 90 as the maximum profit. Here you can see the maximum profit we get at 90, and this is the last step of the problem. By doing this branch bound method, we are optimizing some steps. Here we have to make another two steps, and here we have to make another two steps. Here we have to another make two steps. Here we have to make another two steps. Similarly, same here also making another two steps and two more. uh, we are reducing the steps by the branch bound method for solving the snapshot problem. Okay, here is the algorithm for the element used, because we are going to store the weight and value in a structure. Okay, and the profit and bond and level means we are going to adding the element or not, that means it is the algorithm for maximum profit. You can see this, we are using Q to solve this, or pushing the element and pulling the element to remove. Okay, you can refer this algorithm for solving this problem, and this two is the same one, and we are using bond. This is the function we used to calculate the maximum profit. In the previously we are analyzing this maximum weight, maximum profit, that is 115, 82, 80, 98, like that. Thank you for watching. Thank you.